Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to tell you that I'm not who you think I am. I may look a little like him, but I'm wearing these glasses that are meant to disguise you, and I think they're doing a great job of doing it. Either that, or I'm pretending I'm being one of those cool YouTube video makers who wear shades all the time. And I was forced out of retirement because of this hoopla about the special holiday that just came about. Apparently, there's a new holiday, and it's called Love Your Local Muslim. Or on YouTube, it's called Jesus Atheist for Muslims. Apparently, a shitstorm is hit again, and this time it's surrounding some YouTuber named Jocelyn, who's an atheist, a real one, I might add, and of course Sam Harris on a recent show with Bill Maher, and this complete jerk off Ben Affleck. Sam Harris went at it with him about Muslims and Muslim thread. Unbeknownst to me, apparently the Jesus Atheist on YouTube all of a sudden embraced Islam, or at least a particular, well, what can I call him? He's not a comedian anymore. He's no more a comedian than he is an atheist. I say he's not an atheist because he only seems to attack atheists, outspoken atheists. He's attacked TJ, the Amazing Atheist. He's attacked Thunderfoot. He's attacked Dusty from the Cult of Dusty. He's attacked Richard Dawkins. He's now attacking Sam Harris. And he's made an incredible mistake of attacking little old me twice. The first time he got a pass, and the second time, no pass. So him and his little minions are all parroting him about this whole hoopla with Sam Harris and the Muslims. As usual, they're what we call a day late and a dollar short. They took Harris's comments, his opinions and his views, and took them completely out of context, reworded them, and argued accordingly. In other words, created a straw man, just like that imbecile Ben Affleck did on the Bill Maher show. You could tell by Ben Affleck's body language from the very get-go he was out for a fight. And I subscribe to Sam Harris's newsletter, and in his newsletter, Mr. Harris goes into great detail about what happened on that Friday night. I must say, Mr. Harris is a lot more generous and nice than I am regarding Ben Affleck. Even though he pointed out all the errors Ben Affleck made, he said that those of us that have attacked Ben Affleck, calling him an imbecile or just an actor, that were wrong, were just as wrong as the people who have attacked Harris himself. And I would beg to differ on that. But he went on to say that Affleck is a talented director and a producer, and he is very knowledgeable. No, he's still a fucking Hollywood liberal actor. And the way that works is they'll star in a movie on a certain genre. In this case, Affleck made one about the Middle East. I think he was a CIA operative, or he was the contract person. And he went into the Middle East, and therefore he's an expert now in the Middle East, okay? But let's get back to the chase, okay, about Muslims, about Islam itself. And I'll go back, I'll be as simple as I can. I'll try to be very basic with my approach to this, because I know a lot of you YouTube people are, well, I don't want to say dense, but see, you're sort of like drama queens and kings, sort of like this unfilled comedian from England, Mr. Unfunny, as my friend calls him. When they take polls and surveys, such as Gallup or other polls or whatever, they only sample a very tiny portion of the population. I believe I read somewhere maybe 1% or 2% of that, and that's pretty high even in itself. So what they'll do is they'll take a sampling, and then they'll extrapolate the numbers on the common group of people associated with the sampling group to make certain observations, conclusions, predictions. And by way of an example, let's say I went and I interviewed 5,000 Christians, or as I've been calling them lately, Jesus freaks. Jesus freaks as opposed to YouTube Jesus atheists, as Mr. Dennett used to call them, or probably still calls them. So say I interview these 5,000 Christian Jesus freaks. Now, I confirm that they are Jesus freaks. They love the Lord and they're waiting for the rapture. Yada, yada, yada. Whatever. Or even forget the rapture. They're just Christians, okay? So out of 5,000, now I'll ask them a question. This question I'll say, Mr. or Mrs. Jesus Freak, if your Lord Jesus commanded you, would you kill a Jew? In other words, kill a Jew for Jesus. Would you do that? Now say 4,500 of the 5,000 answer in the affirmative. Perhaps some of them have reservations, but in the final analysis, they say yes, they would do it. Some of them might not like doing it, but they would do it. 4,500 out of 5,000 say yes. So that's 90% of that sampling. I could easily say, I could extrapolate that number on the rest of the Christians and say, and I'll qualify it, I'll say, according to surveys, it is believed, this is an absolute, and it's not a firm conclusion, but we get the feeling or we get the impression based on this survey, we believe that 90% of the Christians would kill a Jew for Jesus. That's very rational, it's very reasonable, and that's how surveys are done, and that's how polls are done. So Mr. Sam Harris, that's what he was talking about the Muslims. Now there are 1.5 billion Muslims out there. He said not all of them are terrorists. He said perhaps 100 million or more or whatever. But he did say 80% of the other, I think he said 80% of the other Muslims agree with the Quran, even the most radical teachings of it. They also agree with Sharia law. You can draw your own conclusions from that. So he was right on the mark. But this person, as we were going to call him, we're no longer going to call him Mr. Unfunny. We're going to call him the drama troll because he's been reduced to fostering drama, stirring up drama and crap against real atheists, okay? So he went with it, and he's been making videos and trying to get attention, that's all, because the attention given him has been going down, okay? So just don't forget now, for those of you that are Jesus atheists, hug a Muslim for Jesus, will you? Better yet, go hug an ISIS Muslim for Jesus and see what happens. But I hope I've explained Sam Harris, a real atheist, to all of you, okay? Till next time.